let's begin the class. It's recording just. The different kind of economic system we spoke already with traditional, that is it's not longer the only in certain world, and also the command economic system, and that is also for the some areas in the world also. And now the one that we're going to talk about today is about the market system, and that is the one that we are using here. That is the more common system, economic system that actually that works, but it's not perfect. Okay, this is not a system that is perfect. There's no any perfect system, economic system. Okay, so anyway, you have already, I sent it already on the PowerPoint. Which one? That one, that's yours, The other one is mine. You have in your platform, there are a couple of videos, and also this PowerPoint also is loaded up already in the system. Everything is in Neo's platform. Okay, guys, in order for you to do the vocabulary and everything else, all the assessment, also I send it through the weekly planning in eSite. Okay, so let's begin, guys. Let's do this real fast, and after this I have a very interesting video that talks or summarize all this that I'm trying to talk to you. Okay, market system, that is the third economic system that exists in the world, and this is the more common one. Okay, now the objectives here in this chapter is try to describe what a market is, how it works, also identify the main features of a market economy, analyze how the circular flow model represents economic activity in the market economy, and explain the advantages and disadvantages of an market economic system. Now, these are the vocabulary that you need to write. Remember the topic. You need to write in your notebook, market economics, and then you need to write, this is the vocabulary that you need to write and look it up in your book. Everything is in your book, guys. Private property rights, market, laissez-faire, capitalism, voluntary exchange, profits, ganancias, competition, consumer sovereignty, specialization, circulation, circular flow model, production market, and factor markets. Okay, now let's begin, guys. Now, fundamental of market economy. People economy behavior is motivated always by self-interest. If you buy something, it's because you are interested in that specific good or item. Self-interest behavior is behind two other features of market economy. One of those features is private property rights, and the other one is the market. These are the two features that are involved in the market economy. The private property rights. The rights is individual and group to owns property. Now we have to right to owns property. Like you guys in your house, you are, most of you, some of you, they pay rents, but other house, their own house, their own car, their own things. So that's the property, the private property rights. We have the right to have these private things. In economic terms, now in the socialism, it doesn't exist this, okay? Now that's why we're talking about this. What is the difference between this, the market economies? In economic terms, property means everything that an individual owns. That is what is the meaning of property, not propiedad. That something that belongs to you, an individual. This includes factories, offices, clothes, furniture, houses, etc., and ceremonial, and all of that. Even intellectual property. For instance, when you write a song, that is a property. you're not supposed to sing, or you need a permission in order to play that song. Okay, such a song or idea of development. Like it's like the factory that is going to create the vaccine for the COVID-19. They're gonna claim that they have the intellectual property. Yeah. So and they need they're gonna get a transaction with the governments in order to get the properties of this when they discover the vaccine in order to neutralize this pandemic. Okay. Now the other feature that stems from self-interest is the market. Any place or situation. A market is a place or situation. Even in internet, there is a market. Okay, in which people buy and sell resources and goods on services. Okay. Now, for instance, the farmers market on Saturdays in town square. For instance, if you go to the valley, al valle, usually all the farmers they go to this esta plaza, to this place in order to sell their things. So that is a market. Okay. On Saturday usually you go to these places, and it's made an enormous, and also there's an enormous cyber market and internet. An example of this cyber market is eBay or maybe Amazon. That's another cyber market. So these are examples of market. It's not only the market that you go to the store, to the grocery store, that is a market. No, any place where there are transactions. Okay, when you buy and you sell things. Now, feature number one: private property and markets. For markets to operate efficiently, private property rights needs to be well defined. You need to define what is the private property. Now this is, you have to pay attention to this. Actively enforced by law. Okay, you need to, for instance, when you buy a car, for instance, guys, when you buy a car, you need a document that tells you that you own that car. When you buy a house, you need a document that says that you are the owner of this house. So this is what they are talking about. Okay, the private property and market. And also there's over here there is an example. You know what the essential part of the essential right? You need proof that the person you are buying it from actually owns it and has the right to sell it. Also they have, because that's why they have to give you a receipt, a document saying that this that you bought it and you need this private property. Now, in protecting private property rights, so that producers have motivation. Okay, for instance, we are talking about songs. Let's pretend you create or you write songs. Okay, now in order to create songs, now the government also. Some of you think that in the economy market the government doesn't doesn't intervene, but it has to intervene in order to find the rights of this the owner of these lyrics. Okay, for instance, in protecting private property rights, so that producers have motivation and consumers have trust, the government perform an important role in market economy. ¿Cómo es que se llama eso? I don't remember right now the name. Derecho de autor, el derecho de autor. Okay, that's give you the government. The government give you the derecho de autor. So nobody should be using the same song or singing it. Now, if you want to sing that song, for instance, all the rappers, por ejemplo, si de repente alguien quiere cantar Despacito o la canción esta ay, no me acuerdo cómo es que se llama, o cualquier rap que tú quieras cambiar en la letra, necesitas pedir, you need to ask a permission, and also if you have some profit, then you have to share some profit with the owner of that lyrics, okay? Por eso que a veces hay muchas discusiones entre los artistas y los autores de las letras, ¿ya? Entonces aquí cuando el gobierno interviene. Now, another feature of the economic market, limited government involvement. El gobierno no interviene mucho. Sometimes the government's economic roles is to stay out of the market. The principle that the government should not interfere in the economy is called laissez-faire. This is the expression that was invented in France. Laissez-faire, dejar hacer, dejar pasar. A French phrase, meaning leave things alone. O sea, que no se metan en eso. Deja las cosas hacer. Deja las cosas que sucedan. Leave things alone. That's what it means, laissez-faire. Now, the concept of laissez-faire is often paired with capitalism. Yes, but because it belongs to this period of time when the capitalism appeared. An economic system that is based on private ownership of the factor of production. Remember the factor of production, the different factor of production, the four factor of production, labor, capital, remember? Now, there are no pure market economies, as I said. Ni siquiera hay una economía pura, ni siquiera comunismo puro, ni comunismo, no, ni siquiera command economy pure command economy. All real world market economies have some degree of government involvement. Siempre el gobierno va a tener un grado de intervención. Now la tercera característica, voluntary exchanging market. O sea, hay un intercambio voluntario. Si usted llega a un acuerdo, usted logra conseguir el bien, ¿ok? When a buyer and seller agree to do business together, they engage in a voluntary exchange, un intercambio voluntario, a trade in which the parties involved anticipate that the benefit will outweigh of cost, okay? Self-interest guides voluntary exchange, definitivamente el interés. Yo quiero, por ejemplo, aquí un ejemplo. Yo quiero comprarme una guitarra, pero yo sé que esa guitarra me cuesta $500, ni modo. Yo voy a matar y voy a pagar por conseguir alguna de estas guitarras. Por supuesto, tiene diferentes precios. Y porque yo tengo el interés, that self-interest is the one that drives us in order to buy any kind of product. Okay? That's what it means. And feature number 4, competition and consumer sovereignty. Competencia y la soberanía del consumidor. Market economies are also characterized by competition, the effort of 2 or more people acting independently to get business of other by offering the best ideas. You're able to choose today between Macintosh and Windows. I don't like Macintosh, but some of you like Macintosh. I'd rather have this sistema operativo que es Windows PC, okay? You are free to decide which you prefer based on whatever combination of price and value appeals to you more. The consumer also the real power in the marketplace. Consumer sovereignty is the idea that because consumers are free to purchase what they want and to refuse products they do not want. That is the sovereignty. Now, this is the last slide we're going to discuss, and this is the last feature. Specialization on markets. A market economy encourages efficiency use of resources by allowing people and business to specialize in what they do best. Specialization is a situation in which people concentrate their effort in the area in which they have an advantage. Por ejemplo, si ustedes son buenos haciendo, qué sé yo, emparedado, bueno, ustedes van a poner un negocio que va a ser para emparedado. O si usted es bueno en la tecnología, repara computadoras, bueno, va a ser un negocio que va a ser. Si usted es bueno vendiendo, qué sé yo, apartamentos, bienes raíces, usted va a hacer un negocio que se... O sea, que eso es lo que se refiere a lo que habla de la especialización. Muy bien. Economic Essentials, Fundamentals. Estas son lo que hemos mencionado, aquí están. Todo en un cuadro, los diferentes fundamental market economy, donde la economía se fundamenta. ¿Se fundamenta en qué? En la propiedad privada, especialización, consumer soberanía del consumidor, los competidores, las ganancias, hay un intercambio voluntario y el government involvement is limits, but sometimes it has to be involved. Okay, guys? So let's stop right here and then let's watch a video that summarizes or try to tell us more about, where is it? Market. Oh, where is it? This is not. Oh, this is it. What is the market economy? Okay, let's watch it.
Welcome back to the Mr. Sin channel. Today we're going to be talking about a market economy. Make sure you've checked out my other videos on a traditional economy, a mixed economy, and a command economy. There's also some more on capitalism, socialism, and communism. Those will all be important for you to understand. Now, let's figure out what a market economy is and how it answers the three basic economic questions. Now, while watching the video, make sure to use your guided notes. You can find them in the description below. I create the guided notes for each video. They go along with the video and they're there to help you remember all the important things. That way, when you have your quiz or test, you know all the stuff. And if you need a review, you can just look at your notes. So a market economy is where businesses and individuals, our consumers, they make up all of the decisions. They are the ones that are going to answer our three basic economic questions. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about that, check out my video on the three economic questions. You can click on the top right now and view that video. Then come back to this one. But consumers and businesses, they will answer the what, the how, and for whom. They're in charge. The government will not play a role in here. This is where we'll have a free market or laissez-faire. In this market, supply and demand is key. This is where it'll be determined of what prices are, what we should produce, and for those people who want to try to go against the grain, they have the opportunity to, and maybe they'll succeed or they'll fail. Now, there's a bunch of different things that happen in this type of an economy. Ultimately, what's occurring is consumers vote with their dollars. When they go and purchase things, it tells the economy what they want, and then businesses react. The businesses that can't keep up and the businesses that don't react fast enough, well, then they fail. Now, we're going to get into some of the advantages and disadvantages, and there's a lot here. This is one of the economies you probably have heard a lot of over the past couple of years, especially going through high school. So let's figure out right now what the advantages are and disadvantages are to a market economy. Now, a market economy has a lot of advantages and disadvantages. Some of the advantages for a market economy is there is a high degree of consumer satisfaction, of just in general, people get what they want to buy. And there's a lot of individual freedom that occurs in a market economy. Businesses get to decide what they want to produce, how they want to produce it, and for whom. And over time, the economy can adjust to a lot of different changes, especially the small ones. The day-to-day changes, it does a very good job adapting to. An example here is when you look at gas prices. When we see gas prices for a couple of years consecutively be lower, we will start to see an increase for bigger cars and SUVs and trucks. Because gas prices are lower, people have more money, they'll start buying there. However, when gas prices go up for a while and it appears like they're going to continuously go up, we'll start to see higher sales of smart cars and fuel-efficient cars. In fact, factories will shift their resources to produce more smaller vehicles when gas prices are higher because they can sell more vehicles, and they want to make sure that they meet the demand. Supply and demand is what determines prices and what is produced, and that can be great. All of this individual freedom lets people be able to react immediately. They don't have to wait for a large bureaucracy to decide anything. There's very little government interference, and people get to make their own decisions. And so we see people happy, and we also see a lot of production being made. And innovation takes off in this economy. There's nothing to slow you down. You are the driver of your own freedom and destination, you could say. You get to determine what happens. While a market economy might seem great, there's also a lot of disadvantages as well. This is one of the types of economies that doesn't provide basic needs for everyone. There's a lot of uncertainty that is in a market economy, both for business and for the individual. It's hard, and a lot of people fail in this type of an economy. Now, the other thing that it doesn't do a good job with is providing services. It actually has a horrible time at providing certain ones. It won't make sense. And this is normally where we'll see the government step in. Things like the military, roads, water, electricity, that is normally where the government comes in because there isn't enough economic incentive for the private business to take over. And we'll kind of debate about that and talk about that more in class. But that's one of the areas that it struggles with. Another issue that the market economy has is it is susceptible to failure. If three things aren't met, it can collapse. One of them is consumers have to be knowledgeable. They have to have an understanding of what's available to them. Same thing with businesses. They have to know who they're hiring. They have to know information so they can make the best decisions. The other one is resources have to be able to be moved. You can't have it where a company could lock down an area and say, well, this is our road. We're going to block everyone else out. No one gets to bring in raw materials to build anything. It wouldn't work then. There has to be, and this is the third one, competition as well. We have to have a competitive market where supply and demand is functioning correctly. And we'll get into the debate of what the government should do with this. Some say laissez-faire, government hands off, don't touch it at all. Others say we need to have more government interaction and intervention. And that is a debate for another time, and we will get to it. So hang in there. But hopefully right now you can see some of the disadvantages and advantages. Now, for those economic questions again, I kind of stated it earlier, but just to make sure you understand, a market economy, the three basic economic questions are answered by the people living in the society. Everyone gets to decide what to produce, how to produce it, and for whom. It's up to you to make your own decisions. And that's one of the big benefits to this economy. And that's it. That's a market economy. Make sure you understand what a market economy is, how it answers the three basic economic questions, and advantages and disadvantages.
That's it, guys. Okay, this is what I got for you. Next week, we'll continue this PowerPoint. And also remember, please, if you don't know how to create this mind map, I load up some information in Neo. So go and take a look, those information in order to be ready for next week assignment. Are we clear, guys? Do we have any question? Anyway, if you have any question, you can send me any email or any message. Remember, we are supposed to be here until 2 p.m. from 12:45 until 2 p.m. if you have any question. Okay, guys? See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Behave. Bye-bye.